What's that you've been reading?
The Andanuth. I found it in that house yesterday.
Good?
Like nothing I ever read.
It's a road. There's a girl on it.
A girl? What's she doing?
Just standing there, talking to herself.
She's a guard.
I don't think so. Just a kid wearing a dress.
It's a trap. She's bait.
Yeah. Yeah, you're probably right.
Maybe. Maybe not. We gotta check it out.
Sam, what are you doing? Sam. Go with him.
Are you the mailman?
What?
Are you the mailman?
No. No, I'm not.
I'm waiting for the mailman.
Yeah? Why's that?
My dad is waiting for a package. He ordered some books. Some game books. I'm going to meet the mailman when he comes. We can play games again.
Where is your dad?
He's over there. He doesn't talk much anymore. I think he'll pick up when his books get here.
You should just come with us. It's not safe out here alone.
What's your name?
Emmy.
My friend's right, Emmy. It's not safe. And the mail hasn't run in a... Well, the mail isn't running anymore.
I shouldn't be talking to strangers.
We gotta go. Now.
Where'd she go? Emmy!
Jukes, we have to find her.
Emmy!
Let her go. She's gone. Now, she was never even there.
Is that Emmy's dad?
It's the mailman.
It's Emmy's game books.
You know the rules. Take only what you need. Sam. Sam!
Emmy?
Trollord Games. Join the fray.
All right. And we are here.
Thumbs off. Are we live, Chuck?
We are live.
Didn't you have some grandiose announcement like KTLG in the
No,
afternoon?
I didn't change my shirt either. Damn it. I'm slacking.
Hello, Cookie. How's it going?
Hey, welcome in, Moo. Cookie. We had a raid from them earlier from OS Wizards. Thanks for the raid, by the way. We appreciate it. Welcome in, new folk. Remove the Fae. That's exactly right. Remove the Fae. Yes. Yes. Hey, what's up, Crew Bear? Good to see you. Welcome in. Welcome in. Welcome in. I am Chuck Cumbo. I am. Do what?
The Fae are being purged. I think
that's right. The Purge.
There's
Anyway.
Leprechaun, Brownie, Pixie, Sprite, Nixie, Grig.
Was it 7, I think?
Quickling.
Yeah, Barhead. I don't know if that's a Fae.
Barghest is not a Fae anymore.
No.
I guess Dryad would count.
Yeah.
That's in there.
So we went from 80 to 8. I like that. That's a good move.
Yeah,
or 100 or whatever it was. Yeah, for sure.
GM Kenny Yeager says, first time catching a live stream, was just watching one of the one shots from earlier this week. Excellent. Glad you could join us. We're going to start doing those more and more.
Yeah.
We're a lot of fun.
Everybody seems to like them, so we're going to keep it up.
I rewired my internet thing.
Oh.
So maybe it'll work better now. The dog chewed through it.
Oh, I see.
That'll do it.
I do want to say this. From yesterday's game, for those of you who are concerned about no one drowned, Jeremy actually saved Grace's character because the goblin that was running up the bank was going to go pull a lever on the dam and flood the ditch.
Right.
But during Nat 20'd him in the back or something, I think.
We stopped them with our mighty heroic actions.
Ended his day. Wolf says I was right. Yep, that's what he was doing.
And I came this close to dying. I mean, this close. I thought I was toast.
Well,
I thought I was toast.
Like
well, I fucked up because I should have cast Arcane Armor, but I didn't right off the bat. I should have done that first, and I'd have been fine, but I didn't. So I knew I screwed up. I was like,
it's one of the things I've decided to do on these. If we do these one shots more often, and I run some, I want to run a game like I do. I'm not. It's just if you didn't say it, you didn't say it.
No, it's all fair. I'm the same way. Don't think I don't. I'm the same way at my table. You know, absolutely. So I'm real quick. I'm Chuck Cumbo. I am community director for Trollord Games, and we'll go around the table. Everybody, introduce yourself, real quick, if you would, please.
I'm Stephen Snow, CEO of Trollord Games.
I'm Davis.
Co-creator of Castles and Crusades, our flagship product. Davis.
I'm Jeremy, and I've aged about 5 years in the past week.
He is the official whipping boy. That's right. That's right. And we're here
I can't wait, Jeremy. I cannot wait till you get your first gray hair.
So we're here to shoot the shit. We're here to shoot the shit with you guys.
Late for that.
We do have a raffle going on, and if you want to join the raffle and you're on one of the other platforms besides Twitch, unfortunately we can't do it through the interweb, so you'd have to hop over here, give us a follow, Express Point Raffle. Then you can go back and watch it from wherever, and then we can get. If you win, you would just go to our Discord, get the code later anyway. So there's a link in chat if you want it.
I've actually lost about 15 pounds in the past 7 days.
Have you really?
That's good.
It's not the way I'm doing it.
Let's see.
For legal reasons, I am reporting 40 hours this week.
Yeah.
And if for legal reasons. And for you guys out there, if you have any questions, please give us your questions. Just do question in caps, followed by your question. I'll get them in a queue.
I saw a few comments. Can I tackle them, Chuck, real quick?
Please, go ahead.
Yeah, I saw someone mention that they missed the character rolling demo. We did that yesterday, but we didn't really demo it on screen. What I was doing is I was kind of demonstrating how fast you can make a castle. And I wasn't doing it; they were doing it. How fast you can make a character in Castles and Crusades. Chuck is going to work on a demo video and a Twitch stream. I'm hoping next week, maybe, if we can get it together.
Yeah.
Where he shows how to make a character. And I agree, Statler, completely. Davis should definitely run some 1 hours for Inzaya. Pure Inzaya, no holds barred. That would be awesome.
Yeah, I can do that.
Jim Kenny Eager says, trying to get more of my 5e people over to CNC. 10 minutes to roll characters was awesome. Can't wait for the print copies of the Kickstarter. None of us can wait. We're all excited about it.
I'm very excited.
Oh yeah, for sure.
And I'm super jazzed on Amazing Adventures now that it's kind of laid out and all that new art's in there. It just looking so much better.
Mm-hmm.
Hey, on that the stream yesterday. So over the on Monday, I know I tried to get in, but my computer kept knocking out, so I was out. But I do want to point out, like, so Jeremy. So when I was playing, I was making a mistake, and Jeremy pointed it out. But so I'll explain what was going on. I wasn't adding my character levels, right? But I was.
You weren't adding anything.
No. I was in the back of my head. So here's an issue, right? Is that I've run games for so long and played them for so long that I literally have numbers rolling around in the back of my head, and I know what my target number has to be to even be successful, right? Or generally to be successful. And as Kent knows, I will fall back to a not success over success if it's questionable, right? So in the back of my head, I knew that I had to roll a 7 or an 8 to be successful on virtually anything, assuming there's at least a challenge level 1 for anything, right? Mm-hmm. That would give me my 12 or 11. And I rolled a 6, a 2, and a 2. So I could have fudged a little bit just to make the math, but I did not. So this is the problem, is that I did not add those numbers in, and I should have verbally added them in and told everyone what I was doing during the game so that it was clear. I was not making it very clear until Jeremy pointed it out.
That's one of
the things. And I won't do that in the future. Though it does bring up this interesting thing. As a CK or as a player, do you prefer to have the player do all the addition and math for you, or as a CK? Okay.
I mean, it's situational. There'll be things that I'll throw on them that I'll keep track of, but base math, absolutely.
Yeah.
Just give me the final number.
Yeah, I just want to know the number, if it's prime or secondary or non-prime.
Yeah.
I do the plus the prime or secondary. I don't do the shorthand where they add 6 to their primary check,
No. I don't have like that either.
It makes perfect sense.
I am getting your guys' questions in queue, but I do have one here that's related to what we're talking about, so I want to go jump the list here real quick. Psych War 81 says, when do you not add level to checks? Only when a class-specific ability? Question mark.
I think so.
Yes.
If it's a different class's ability and you're stepping on their toes,
right?
So technically, you're not supposed to ever allow, like, a ranger can't pick a pocket. It's just they
can try, but they're going to fail.
Yeah. No. They can attempt to pick a pocket. They cannot add their class level.
That's exactly right.
Now, Kent might have a different rule. I have a rule.
That's what's in the book.
Is it in the book?
Yes.
Because Mac and I specifically went over that, and I thought I cut that out of the book.
No, that's in the book.
Would it have been cut? I don't know.
Yeah, that you don't add your class. That you're just not supposed to do it.
No. You're okay. Well, generally, it's such that you're not going to succeed. It's at maybe 5 to 10%. No, it would actually be technically, I think, at best, you get a 5% chance of success.
A perfect example is when Jeremy's Barbarian was trying to track the other afternoon, and you said, well, but you allowed him to, and that's kind of how that is. It's kind of like you can try anything, but your chances are going to be astronomically hard if you don't have a skill set for that, right?
Yeah.
I'll have to double check, but to answer your question, yes. You are supposed to add your level almost every single time a character is doing something. And now, if it gets into them doing another class's skills,
right,
then that gets into some nuance. But I've been running since 2006, and I can't think of a time that I've not had them add their level to a check.
Okay, if there's so for example, if a barbarian tries to pick a pocket, he doesn't get to add his level. Period.
And I think it's treated as a secondary too, right?
And it's treated
absolutely,
as
even if absolutely,
it's an 18 always.
So you have a base 10% chance of succeeding, less if there's any challenge level.
Yeah, and generally you get a challenge level 1, so it's a 5%.
So it's 5% chance.
Right.
So 20 on the die.
Yeah. So what it happens is, so technically you can try another class's ability. Your chances of success are astronomically low. And that's mechanically built in to prevent people from stepping on other people's toes, right?
And I think there's language in there to that effect. That's like, try to avoid this as much as possible.
Yeah, no, there is, and Kent's right to say that it should be. I mean, I wouldn't absolutely discourage it, especially if you're just playing with 2 people and you have a myriad of stuff you need to try or something like that.
If you have a fighter and a wizard and you're in a dungeon, you have no way to check for traps or something.
Right.
In a pinch, I think it's appropriate.
Yeah. But again, I think at best you have a 10% chance. Challenge over 1 is 5% chance. Anything above that, any situational modifiers, your count. You're not going to be able to succeed.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
Although, can you critically succeed on an ability check?
I
know
don't.
You can't in combat. I don't remember if you can in.
I mean,
I don't have critical success.
I allow
I don't.
criticals for combat, but not for checks. No.
Okay.
No, there's no way because there's too many. I mean, my God, when you get up the ladder, it gets pretty crazy.
No,
So you
this
have
is
to-
this is the way the language reads in the book. It doesn't count as a secondary. You can, like Jeremy said, you're discouraged against it.
Yeah.
But if it counts people, if you do allow it, then it should be no level added to it whatsoever.
I don't let them do secondary either.
And
I mean,
then,
no
this
problem.
is the language because Mac didn't even want that put in there. And this is the language where I modified Mac. It is important to note that the abilities of each class have the best results when used by only that class. A rogue can move silently with an absolute absence of sound. A fighter, therefore, should only be able to move very quietly, even with a successful roll.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
So if you allow it, you should never allow the class rolling another class's check to be as good.
You should blunt the
What-
level
and
the
what
effectiveness.
and honestly, if someone comes to me, let's say the check's a wisdom check and their character has a prime in wisdom, right? I still treat it secondary. I don't care what they say about that.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? Because that's just in my mind, anyways. Omega Gambit says 5e makes clerics better at finding traps than rogues.
Well, I think that's where
Could
the
be.
tension
Could be.
it goes in when you're making wisdom checks and they got a prime and a high attribute.
That's
can
right.
Turn out with this cleric at 5th level who's doing better than a rogue or a ranger.
There's a great way to circumvent this. No wisdom checks to see things. That is my least favorite mechanic in any game ever.
I agree with that.
What's that?
I agree.
And that's not only that's a rule. Is it a rule in there?
You had me rolling spot checks like crazy yesterday.
Yeah, you kept saying that. I wasn't sure what that was. I was like, okay, I was rolling, so I wasn't sure what spot was.
I think that's just a meism. I think.
Spot, observation, whatever.
Yeah,
right?
so in a lot of games, a wisdom check, you make a wisdom check to see if you notice some specific detail, and it's very frustrating as a player because there's a barrier between what your character sees and what you see.
Yeah.
And the way to get around that is just with more in-depth question and answer. So so you can say, I look under the crack of the door. What do I see? And they just describe what they see.
Yeah.
Rather than, well, make a wisdom check. Oh, you rolled a 22. Well, you look under the crack of the door and you see X, Y, Z. That kind of thing.
Yeah.
It takes a lot longer, but it's much more immersive.
Yeah, I think most of that can be addressed narratively, and importantly, if there's something that the players should see to continue the episode, so to speak,
don't hide it behind a check.
Don't hide it behind a check because you could truncate the adventure right there.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, that's very, very true. Yeah, I think what I've started because I agree. I'm just doing habit now. And that's you noticed it last night. I just wisdom check. But what I've tried to shift my way into doing it is to making it a primary attribute check.
Right.
Presumably, you're an adventurer in the woods and you're paying attention, right? I mean,
yeah. Because if you don't have wisdom as a prime, you're just an imbecile.
Yeah.
Even if you have an 18, you're just a total imbecile.
You can't see anything.
That's why it's beautiful about how you can switch the primes up in the game as far as what you want. It's not going to hurt nobody. That's what's great about it.
It's funny because when I'm running a game and I'm famous for rivers, right? I will frequently have people make strength checks, intelligence checks, wisdom checks to get across the river. And it's not always a dex check. There's all kinds of things.
No, there's all kinds of things. Absolutely. Things fall into it.
Strength checks. But yeah, you can do anything.
I'll do intelligence. And if you want to justify it, the wizard studies the currents of the water before he dives in. There you go. He's paying attention to what he's doing.
Yeah.
Imagine that. Paying attention.
Davis knows this. Our dad grew up on the Saline River, and I can guarantee you he knew the currents of that river and could maneuver through that river. He was going there since he was about 7.
Because he was wise in the way of the river, right?
Yeah. He grew up on it.
Well, you learn it or you die.
Yeah. Those who don't learn it don't make it.
Lots of good comments in here. Sparky said, when our ranger pieced out on us, the party had no good tracking. I let the barbarian make dishstalker checks to track, but with serious penalties. She aced those checks way better than he ever did.
That's funny.
Yeah, there's some good ones in here. I love the CNC. Statler says, and he's a good point. I love the CNC Save Those system. He likes where they've got charisma out there for charm spells, and it's almost never a prime stat. No one ever picks charisma, hardly ever. So
yeah. It's funny. This is Statler points it. Okay, so charisma is actually a really, really important stat in Castles and Crusades.
Yeah,
it is.
I will almost always pick charisma as a prime.
I let people make
really interesting.
If they do anything, try to scare the goblins, try to convince the goblins, it's charisma checks. You can run into combat and go, I try to scare them, and I'm going to say make a charisma check. And if you make your charisma check, they're going to get a -1 from their attacks or something like that.
Yeah.
I try to use charisma all the time.
Yeah. There's ways of doing it. You don't have to list. Like sometimes I'll have people, if they're listening at a door, I'll have them roll a con check. How good is their hearing? I mean, I just change it up a little bit. You know what I mean?
It's good, and you can. There's no reason to not.
No, and it's better that way, so people doesn't think that wisdom is the all-in-one stat. Is this not?
Well, and the subtle thing, and this is what when I started playing after we published for a year or so, when I started playing, the subtlety of it is easy to miss because when you're telling them to make a con check to listen at the door, everyone's expecting it to be a dex check or whatever it normally is, a wisdom check, whatever.
Wisdom check.
And when you start mixing those up, players don't really understand the mechanics of what you're doing, of the reasoning of what you're doing.
No, they don't.
And they can't second guess you, right? So you get a better control of the narrative. One of the reasons I'll have a wizard make an intelligence check across the river because I don't want him to drown, and he might not have a dex as a prime, but he's got intelligence as a prime, so he's got a better chance of surviving.
Yes, and if you've got a regular group, you know damn well they're going to learn your mannerisms and stuff. So it's always good. Just like yesterday with Jeremy getting frustrated because he couldn't figure Steve out. That's what you want. You want them to be able to think differently every time they play a session. You know.
No, it was good. That was actually a very good session yesterday.
Okay, look at that. Okay, so I just randomly picked up the player's handbook, and here's one of the important things about charisma. Randomly picked it up, opened the page 147, and I'm going through first spell, charisma negates.
Charisma is probably the most. Either charisma, constitution, or wisdom are the big three for
charisma
and dexterity. Strength is the least used by far.
Charisma negates. Charisma negates.
Yeah.
It's like 4 spells in 3 pages. Charisma negates.
I have a table open right here.
You can pull it through. And then charisma has those add-on effects like Kim was saying when you do certain things. And I'll allow I don't know. Anyway, you can use charisma. I like charisma as a score. I don't use it though for I try not to put it into that role of where it's making social checks, so to speak. But I do
charisma should not be a superpower.
No,
it should not be a get NPCs to do whatever I want power.
Right.
Which sounds obvious, but for some people, they forget that.
It's difficult. It's a difficult stat to manage.
Especially,
but it's fun though because I don't remember. You probably don't recall this, but you and Todd were playing together at one time. You were playing brothers, and you guys had to bribe a guard to get through a gate into the city. Right? You were trying to bribe the guard.
Right.
And you fumbled I made you make a charisma check to see if you could actually convince him to take a bribe, and you fumbled the bribe and got arrested.
Sounds about right.
Sounds about right. Wait, you sure that was a game? Wait a minute. No.
But that should have been more. That should have been more on me though. In reflection, that should have been more on me. I should have made the check behind the thing and then decide whether or not.
Well, no, you do that a lot though. You actually like to take things behind the screen. I like players to roll as many dice as human.
Yeah. Right. Yeah, I think in reflect, I like to have you guys roll. I don't really care overall. I prefer to roll all the dice or keep a lot behind the screen. Yeah. But I know that,
what I like to do,
and Todd specifically,
what I like to do is whenever someone's trying to move silently or sneak or hide,
right,
I will do the check for them.
Right.
Yes.
And all they know is they believe they're being as sneaky as possible.
Yes.
Um,
Yes. No. There. Yes. Yeah.
Yeah.
Yes, see, I'll have them. I'll have them make the check, but I kind of describe what's happening. They have to
Yeah.
determine whether
Uh,
they move silently or not.
Don't
So-
tell them the challenge. If they make the check, don't tell them the challenge level, so they don't know exactly.
No, I don't tell them shit. I mean, anyway, I don't want, because that's metagaming if you think about it. But anyway, Steve, you brought up a good question. So Omega Gambit, I'm going to put this link up. It's also opportune time for the Kickstarter, but the video for that you missed yesterday, if you want to, you could go over there and just go to the main story page. I put it up. It's on the, just scroll. As soon as you go there, you'll see it. You can rewatch that video right there if you want to. It'll be up. And if as we do some more of those next week, I'll probably put those up, or probably what I'll do is just do a post up with links to them all as we get more. You know what I mean? No worries. I'm glad. Go watch it. You'll enjoy watching us. Just, bam, bam, bam. We were really fast into it for sure. Okay, so I'm going to move right along to some other questions. We good? We good with that topic? All right, so MSN 2012 Gaming asks, the Amazing Adventures rework is for the Siege Engine version, correct? And if so, will it be available for purchase or late backers if we didn't get in when it was crowdfunding?
Absolutely. Yes, absolutely. But yes to both those questions.
That's right. Yeah, absolutely. So no worries on that.
The final layout stuff is sitting on Kent's desk, and we're going over it.
Yeah, well, we sent it to the backers. The backers, well, Chuck hadn't yet, but they'll get it, this almost final copy, so they can see what's coming.
Yeah. We like to send out advanced copies to the backers. So,
are you going to send it out before I get you the spells?
I went ahead and sent it out. And I just told them the spells are going to be completely replaced. So that was it.
Yeah. So
We're
I'll
replacing the spells with blank pages.
I'll be sending that out in the morning, probably. The way the day's going. So sure, probably early in the morning. I get up pretty early, so I'll have it out to you backers, so you can go. It looks pretty cool too. I have to say, it's a badass looking book. The interior is beautiful.
It is. We're going to send out the spell. We're taking all the spells out, and we're just putting Jeremy's face screaming.
It's a flip book. I get redder and redder with each page.
Change the saturation.
Well, D. Kingsley, wait just a little bit. We'll have the new version out, and it's looking really good.
It looks really good. It looks really, really good. I'm actually really, really happy with it. I posted like on Twitter the opening page to it too. That snake emblem thing.
Yeah, the new one. Yeah, it reminds me. I need to get a really good copy, high res copy of that somewhere. Yeah. Next question is from this is from Willie the Rat. He wants to know if it's possibility of having Bug the half orc in his own adventure.
That would be great.
The crowd really liked him a lot. So
that's Wyatt's Bug.
Wyatt?
Yeah, a lot of
come back.
Yes, they liked seeing him with his grandfather playing CNC. It was really good. They enjoyed it. So.
We'll try again tomorrow.
That's right.
Now, Bug is his intellectual property. You're gonna have to sort that out with him.
Oh yeah, that's true. That's
You're
fair.
gonna have to work on a licensing deal.
License? Wyatt would be all over that. It would be awesome.
Did you notice he was raring to go like you, Kent? He was like, "I charge you. Go ahead."
Oh yeah, yeah.
Wyatt and I are kindred spirits.
All right. Anyway, I was reading up, catching up with the comments. There were some good ones.
What's the next question?
And Death's Angel, I was talking about the updated Amazing Adventures, but obviously the PHB, as we continue to work on it, we'll be sending out advanced copies of that. I think we've got another one scheduled for next week for it.
Go out
right? Next week.
Tuesday.
Okay, there you go.
No later than Wednesday.
The AA PHB?
No,
the AA wants to go out today or tomorrow.
Yeah.
And the CNC PHB next version of it will go out Tuesday.
Yeah, we can definitely hit that.
Yeah.
Right. You want your first writing job? The Adventures of Bug.
There you go.
There you go.
Absolutely. I'll do it.
All right. And we can put it in the consider.
Tyler's roasting him really good.
So I've got a question for the old timer. Do we have any questions queued up?
Oh yeah, we got one more here. Sorry, I just had to laugh. He said, "I still have to finish the rest of the adventure." Grandfather, what was that guy with the Van Dyke? All right, the Mega Gambit asked, "What is the most dangerous and powerful monster in the CNC monster book?"
Red Dragon.
Yeah, by far.
Yeah, Red Dragon. That thing is wicked. The ancient Red Dragon.
The ancient Red.
The ancient Red Dragon will stomp the shit out of anything.
Great worm. I don't remember.
Yeah, it is wicked.
Whatever the oldest one is.
Whatever that is.
It's either ancient or Great Worm. I forget.
You know, is it?
Yeah, it is.
Yes, it is.
It is. You should go.
I'm telling
it
you,
does like 200 damage around.
I'm telling you that in that book, unless not counting the new stuff, but in that book, the dragons were the most badass.
It's like a 36th level monster. There's nothing that high.
Well, and its damage, its bonus to damage is insane.
What is it? Plus 16?
Something.
Yeah.
Per attack.
Yeah, it's insane.
An arrow of dragon slaying will kill it. One little bitty puny little arrow made out of a stick will go fly through it and kill it.
I don't think that's true.
And its armor class is I don't know.
It's like it's like 28, 30,
36. I can't.
36.
It is ridiculously high.
I think an arrow of dragon slaying just deals double damage.
No, it's not ear seekers. It's definitely the dragon.
Its armor class is 32.
God bless. Woo!
And its SR is 6, so that arrow's going to have to overcome its SR as well.
I tell you what, those dragons put to shame even the AD&D ones, because like I've told Steve before, I was running Tomb of the Lizard King a couple years ago, and they had to fight that black dragon, and I thought, I don't remember it being this. I thought it was more powerful when I grew up playing it, right?
I was wrong.
So I went back and looked, and
it's con save or die with
the
arrow of dragon slaying.
Yeah. So it's those dragons were. I mean, when I went and looked at ours, the black dragon. Holy shit!
I intentionally went in there and made them insanely.
I think you told me that once.
Not only that, it's got to fail its Constitution save. It's got physical primes. It's adding 36 to the die.
Yeah, Mike. I want a Draco. I think we're going to try to shove a Dracolich in there. I don't know if we have room for it or not. I really want one.
It
so
didn't
bad.
make the cut. It didn't make the cut.
It's
So I got a question for everybody, and someone maybe here in the room or maybe in the chat can answer it. And it's been so long. So obviously the metallic dragons they originated in AD&D Monster Manual. And looking at these things. So right now, Jason Walton is drawing us new art for each of these dragons, full color pages. He's got the 5 evil ones done, and he's on the second of the good ones. Well, I got to thinking in my head, because I'm giving him the descriptions, and what do I want the platinum dragon doing? And then I just looked in the book.
We don't have a platinum dragon.
There is no platinum, and I think we pulled that for legal reasons. But
So-
what did we replace it with? Because there's
Nothing.
5 good.
No. So, there in AD&D there was an extra chromatic and metallic dragon. There was Tiamat and Bahamut, the platinum dragon.
Right.
We cut both of them.
Okay. Oh, so there's not. I thought it's been so long since I played AD&D. I was thinking the Bahamut
Platinum is not
different than the platinum.
No, he is the only platinum dragon.
The other side. Okay, there we go.
Oh, can we
At
do
least
a
in AD&D. That
can we
might
do
not
a
be the same anymore?
Can we do a stretch goal to get the Dracolich put in? God bless, that's my favorite monster of all time.
What is the dragon?
You got to be kidding me! What is a Dracolich? Oh my God!
It's not in there. You're not going to find it in there.
Where is it?
I don't remember where it's in second edition, and it's in one of the Forgotten Realms books. I don't remember which one.
A Lich and a dragon.
It's a dragon lich.
Yeah, it's what it is. It's a undead dragon lich. It's the ultimate.
So like those things from Game of Thrones.
Sure, if that helps.
I don't know what that is, but
there's a dead dragon.
just think of an undead dragon that's also a lich. That's all you got to think.
Its presence causes undead to spawn.
Yeah, the
That's
second
always in the
edition
company
Monster
of an
Manual.
undead.
Second edition
Yeah.
Monster Manual is where it came out at.
I statted it up. It's done. I think it's on the Patreon right now.
It is
but I haven't done it. It's not.
I will say this: Jason
Badass.
Walton would love drawing an undead dragon. He's
We got a
rocking
dragon
it.
turtle though. So
You know what,
Yeah,
Steve?
that's right. There you go.
Let me just check something real quick.
Did Chuck leave it?
Do you remember when you fought that undead dragon? You and Chris and Mac?
I don't. In your game?
Yeah.
Dude, I never made it past first level.
No. You got. I don't. No. It was Kane.
Oh, it was Kane. All right, he made it past first level.
Yeah, it was Kane and who was Chris playing? His dwarf.
Goldon.
Yeah, and Mac was playing. Where'd it go? Anyway, yeah, y'all were in a castle wall, and the enemy army summoned a undead dragon in it.
I remember.
Chris had fun. It was the first undead dragon he'd ever fought.
I don't know. Most of your adventures I remember because I'm first level, second level tops, and I'm just.
This wasn't an Inzay. This was a Kane adventure elsewhere.
Oh, okay. I'm just wading through the mud and the blood, trying to stay alive. I love the bridge battle where Mac and I tried to hold all those orcs, and Chris rolled a 1 and fell into the mud, and he slowly, over like 10 melee rounds, sank into the mud. No one could get to him to save him, and he drowned in mud.
He suffocated in the mud.
and then I got decapitated.
You're like, forget it, I charged. I rolled an natural 20, your head came flying off.
Yeah, it was awesome because Mac at that point when I died, Mac fled. He got out of there. He said, "I'm out. Everybody's dead but me. I'm getting out of here."
No, Mark survived because he wouldn't go forward. He said, "I'm not going over to that."
Oh,
thing."
that's
He
right.
went back to
Mark
his
could have saved Chris. He could have run down.
Yeah.
And pulled Chris
So,
down.
so I pulled up the Dragon Lich I made, and it would actually, if it was an ancient red Dragon Lich, it would be stronger than the normal. It would be the new strongest monster in the game.
Oh, I hit my camera. I didn't realize that.
It's got all of the abilities of of whatever dragon it is for whatever age it is. Its AC is 2 higher than normal. Its attacks do an additional 2d8 damage. All of its attacks.
Jesus.
It is completely immune to any attacks and spells from 6th level characters or less.
That's pretty powerful.
Yeah.
Oh yeah, it's awesome. Now, I mean, can I show you something here? I just want to show you something.
It can paralyze any creature it looks at for 3d6 rounds.
Just look at this and just think of Jason when you look at this.
Are you putting something in the stream or something?
I am, and just think about what he could do with this. Just think what he could do with that.
That's a classic piece right there.
It is a classic.
Oh, that's
piece.
a beautiful piece. That artist, I love that artist. He's the
And
one who did
that's-
the chess set.
That's yeah.
The dragon chess set is just so cool.
And I'm
Yeah,
telling
that's
you,
very cool.
that's Forgotten Realms at Greenwood all day long right there. But I'm telling you, man, I love that dragon. My favorite. Anyway,
Its
I'll stop
attacks
going on.
paralyze those who get hit for 2d6 rounds too. So it's paralyzing everybody left and right.
Yeah.
It has total control over undead within 180 feet of it.
It's not a
It can
joke.
Like every spell.
I think we should make a book of the undead. Is what we should do.
Oh, and if you kill it, it comes back to life.
Do
Yeah.
what, Dave?
Really?
Yeah, I think we got the Infernum. We got Exaltum. We're going to have a fairy book. I think an undead book would be cool.
No, no. Okay, if we're going down that route, okay. So you said the dragon's the most
Rob.
powerful. Let me ask. We'll just like run this off of your head. In your career of gaming, how many characters have been killed versus dragons versus how many characters have been killed versus orcs?
Oh, it's
Well, that's just a matter of
yes, it
distribution.
is.
That's
For
a
the
matter
most-
of statistics.
Definitely.
And if you're creating an actuary table,
But
and do
hey,
it
let's go the other direction. How many orcs have been killed by characters?
That's
compared
a
to how
better
many
question.
dragons
Okay, yeah, no.
have been
The
killed by
most dangerous thing in the world is, but that's not in the monster manual.
I think that I can think of offhand. I've been running games. I'm playing since '75, running games since about '79, '80. I think the characters have probably killed 7 dragons, maybe 8 in that time.
Hey, I got a question for you, Omega Gamut. What level are you guys that took down Tiamat in 5e? I'm just curious. He said they took down Tiamat with min-maxing a lot of.
So as he's answering that question, Tiamat is in the world of air, renamed Huadon.
Can't say that.
Yeah, it's a 5-headed dragon that's actually 1,000 times bigger than Tiamat easily. It's the gates, it's the first knock, the gates to hell.
15th level.
15th level. Okay, 16th level. That's interesting.
Game caps out at 20. That's pretty powerful.
Yeah. All right, next question is from Piper Dog. You know who that is? Is there a solid design choice?
No. The most dangerous thing in the junior operas with a map and a compass.
Oh, God. That's funny. That is hilarious. He's not wrong about that either. Is there a solid design choice from? This is from Eric Piper. Is this a solid design choice for the leather cover set? I'm a sucker for those.
Well, I'm sorry. What was the question?
Is that a question or a statement?
That's Eric Piper was asking. Is there a solid design choice yet for the leather cover set?
Not yet. Peter is he's working on the 19th cover of the Adventurer's Armory now, and when he's done with that, his next task will be those leathers. Hopefully by next week. It's looking very cool. I'm really liking the direction we've decided to take. We had to back off on a couple of the other covers. They just didn't fit. Beautiful work, but when do we start on the river book? Davis is going to write engineering rivers, engineering waterways.
There's a good Humbaba, the Mega Gambit points out Humbaba, the Dragon Slain by Gilgamesh.
It's Omega.
Yeah.
You come to the river, roll new characters.
Umbaba's not a dragon. He's like a big ogre.
What?
Let's see. MSM says, I think where dragons went wrong was when they became a go
Yes.
dragon. No, almost all dragons should be the one dragon. Oh, that's an interesting concept. Yeah. I do dragons so rarely it would almost work in my head.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, my dragons are really good.
But you need to never walk.
Now, so I'm going to argue that. So I wanted to redo the Nagas and redo
Right.
Yes.
the Lamia Queen. I would say I really wanted the Lamia to be the most powerful creature.
Really?
The Lamia?
Interesting choice.
Yes. No, I actually love the Lamia.
Why? Because they hang out in ruins where you go and dig through? Is that what this is about?
No. I wrote a module. I'm looking for it. I cannot find it too, because that's when I really fell in love with the Lamia, called the Black Menagerie, and it has to do.
I remember that adventure.
Yeah, she collects trophies.
Really?
Anyway,
that's interesting. I'd like to see that.
It's like that
That's
episode
cool,
of Star Trek: The Next Generation. Most toys.
Yeah. That lost. All right.
Completely Manfred.
Aljon Monk over from YouTube asks, when will you have the non-OGL license information for us that want to create content for the new CNC?
We've got something up on the webpage you can use now. It needs to be updated with the OGL stuff pulled out of it. Shouldn't take us more than a couple weeks, 2 weeks. Is that what we got around here?
Yeah.
But
see if I have a link
to
that.
Just so that people know, and I know that there's some concern about legal ramifications and whatnot. We're not using the Creative Commons or any of that.
Right.
Controller Games is assuming that, and I'm not, whatever, the words orc and the word bless and the words whatever, these are just words, and no one can copyright them. So you're going to be able to use stuff from the player's handbook and the monster treasure book, whatever. It's really the siege engine and the logo that we want to protect, and then there's some Arian stuff and Zayn stuff and a couple other small things. But we will get you a license up there to give you some kind of comfort zone, from.
As a rule of thumb, proper names.
Yeah, I mean, this is a silly conversation that's going on at Orc. Where did Orc come from in that? I have no idea.
It's
Ugric.
It's a Proto-English word.
Yeah.
I forget which dialect, but it's like
I mean, just stop.
It's been around for 2,000 years.
Dragon, you're gonna copyright Dragon.
I don't think anybody's coming for anybody for Dragon. But
just stop. I mean, it's just.
But we will get that out soon. I mean, people's been wanting. There's been a lot more interest about that lately, so we're trying to rework.
Yeah,
some
but
things.
if you are like planning to do something, go ahead and start writing it, because back end it.
We are almost, in all honesty, we are almost out of the woods. The five big hang-ups have been the 2 players handbooks, AA and CNC. AA hit the milestone today. Really, now it's just a cleanup.
Jeremy's being put in.
Yeah, Jeremy's got the last couple of hours of work, and actually, since he's already put a lot of the stuff in, now I don't have to do that.
Yeah.
So the CNC PHP is a little further along. It should be ready mostly for public consumption, meaning to say that we've still got an edit to do on it by Wednesday or so. CKG done, MNT, art's coming in like crazy. So that's actually going a little bit faster than.
I got to write those briefs. Shoot.
Yeah. He needs them. He needs 4, I think.
He's so fast.
I know he's insanely quick. He's done like 15 or 16 already.
You think you've not been eating? That guy's definitely not eating.
No kidding.
No, he's hungry.
He's very hungry. So once we're through the thick of these 5 books, and we are almost through the thick of it, we can shift our attention and start fixing a lot of these small things like this OGL license and just.
And then we can start making new things. Can you imagine?
Ironically, Jeremy, today Davis shot over some posts about gamers playing non-traditional classes, and I said, well, before Jeremy got sucked into the core book overhaul, he was working on that book of monstrous classes.
He was. And now it's a faint memory.
I think we may need to recircle the wagon on that one a little bit.
You think?
Making them as races, not classes.
Right.
Well, whatever.
Yeah.
Either way.
Yeah.
Because it's like, how do I make 12 levels of orc? I don't know. Like I could.
No,
it's just a lot of work. I can do it. It's just going to be a lot of work.
Basically, this is how you do it. An orc can be a fighter, a thief, a mage. They're done.
Well, yeah, that's race as race.
Yeah.
Trash Monkey asks, I'm starting a CNC group in August, hoping to use the PDF of at least the PHP by then. The players have only played 5e. What has been your elevator pitch in describing the differences between 5e and CNC? Oh.
Someone else take that. I can't.
So I don't.
I suck at it so bad.
Y'all
So
want me to tackle that? Or
I
do
mean,
you-
I'll give my version first. We'll score around. We'll have me. I'll go. Jeremy go. Then we'll let the troll lord top it off. So really, the fast and loose is basically skills are going to be based on what you want to come up with in a game. The way it's written is instead of you looking for an observation roll or you're looking for whatever on the sheet, it's going to base back to the attribute. And you just if someone says I want to do this, you pick up attribute and they give a check for it. So it's a little different from having an actual skill list. Now, there are secondary skills suggested in the CKG, but that's options. Just like the CKG carries feats, something else you won't find in our game. CNC's very strict, light rules. It's all designed on the CK or the Game Master to, run the game narratively and for it to be very player-facing with you guys, the players, trying to drive it through the role play and how they, they do their part of it, right? There are no short rests. All right, there's just one rest per day. And there are things like level drain, like old school. You can lose levels. You have to go find the priest. There's no waking up and it's
I
all
don't know
gone.
that that's an appealing thing to players.
I don't know. They might. I mean, the biggest thing you're going to
You
have
can
to
take
look
your
at.
levels away. Oh.
Well, they're easily got back. You just got to spend a little money. But here's the thing. The main thing to look at, the takeaway from all that is that 5e was designed to be a over-the-top, heroic, save the world kind of game. CNC's more of a medieval fantasy, gritty, based off the 1400s. It's not so over the top, not so heroic.
Yeah.
It can be heroic, it can be heroes, but you're probably not going to save the world. Maybe when you're 20th level or 25th level or whatever,
So,
that's my answer.
So is this a pitch for game masters or a pitch for players?
just gamers in general.
Players.
Yeah, in general.
You got a table of 5e people in front of you.
Oh.
How do you-
Yeah.
It's much simpler. There's less to keep track of, and resolution is much, much, much faster, both for fighting and for any kind of check that you need to make. Everything's kind of baked in such a way that you're not referencing different disparate pieces of information.
Right.
For running the game, that's what really jumped out to me when running the two was how much easier running castles, especially like monsters and fights.
Right.
It's so much easier in Castles and Crusades because you're not keeping track of all these disparate little elements, all these little abilities that the monster has. You just need to know the one number, which is its level.
Right.
And everything is informed by that.
And it's house rules are welcomed. You're supposed to take this and design your own game with it. Really, am I right, Steve? I mean, that's what you experience.
I would say to convince people to come over, it's freedom of action.
Yeah.
The siege engine, the attribute check system, the way it's built, it allows players you're not constrained by what's on your character sheet. Which as soon if you've got a list of like 9 or 10 or 15 skills, that immediately kind of restricts your desire or even your response to taking certain actions. Take that away, replace it with just an attribute check system, which we've done. And then players will, in 1 or 2 or 3 games, start picking up on the idea that they're not restricted by what's on their page. And then you'll find out that when you're running the game, you'll find out the players, the more they become comfortable with it, the more they just take advantage of it and start doing all kinds of stuff that's far more fun for them.
Right.
Allows them imaginatively to do whatever. And the nice thing about it is because the crazy is going to come at the CK, you've already got a built-in mechanic that you can resolve. Like Gracie yesterday, can I try to catch the puppies? Absolutely, you can try to catch the puppies. Make a dex check. And she did, and she caught the puppies. There's no skill, and I think that once you move away, it takes a little bit. It takes a couple of games, but once you've moved away from this kind of skill or whatever, orientation, it opens up the mind and players start really going in. So it's really freedom of action, freedom of imaginative action.
Yeah.
So it's a lot looser and less
because
rigidly structured.
And Phantom New Jersey pointed out, it's not about being derogatory because they're not. It's just like going to the movies. What kind of movie do you want to watch? Do you want to watch a Marvel movie where they save the universe, or do you want to watch something from the Civil War? It's a different game in that respect. This is designed for more of a narrative play, very fast and loose, that kind of thing.
It's immersive, as Jeremy said. Hey, I want to jump in.
Yeah,
Agile Monk, thank you. Davis, Agile Monk said, thank you for the military service of the Chenault family. Thank you very much. Davis and I both were served, and our oldest brother, Zane, and father, and blah, blah, blah. So thank you for that, Agile Monk.
Yeah.
Yeah, 2012 gaming sort of sums up a little bit of like what I think I would say. Is that,
Yeah, that's a good point.
Fast combat. Combat is fast.
Very fast.
Yes, very, very fast. So you can keep the action high pitched if you want.
Now, keep in mind, and this is not something that you want to go, you would sell to players, but you as a GM, and I think you know that already, Trash Monkey, but you have to be careful about things because the first thing I will tell you is that they're going to ask, can we bring our old characters over or something like that? They just have to remake them. Don't try to port 5e into CNC. It's a different game, and it's going to cause all kinds of problems for you. So you don't want to do that.
Yeah.
I learned that the hard way. So,
rules.
So you let them bring in characters with +5 modifiers?
No.
I did, and I ruined the game. We had to.
Why would you do that? Game
Well,
set at +3.
It's a long story, but some people just.
It's a long sad
Some people like their 12th level bards in 5e.
I lost my left foot along the way.
He was playing a bard, and they're like the most ultimate class in the game for 5e. You know,
Okay,
so.
rules light. Yes, it's very rules light, and this will in reference to the rules light, and this will be what Kent, like aping on what Kent said. Do whatever you want as the CK can adjudicate it easily and quickly. So Kent's point is that you can like you can do whatever. I mean, and it's really encouraged that the player tries or attempts to do whatever they can and not be constrained by what's on their character sheet, rather only be constrained by what they can imagine.
Let me give a perfect example of that. So, and I've talked about this before, and this is Davis's character, Max, running the game. There's this bridge over a chasm. Davis just shows up late, made a fighter real quick, and these 3 ogres have us kind of hold up. We can't get across the bridge, so we're trying to fight our way through. So Davis shows up. He's not at the table more than 5 minutes, and he tries to run along the edge of the bridge, and he's going to jump from the bridge and over that last little bit of the chasm and behind the ogres. And Max like, sure, you can absolutely do that. Make a dex check. And he rolled a 1, and he fell off the bridge, and he plummeted to his death. But he tried to get across. And there was if the fighter has no jumping skill or sneak skill or back or whatever, acrobat or whatever.
Right. Yeah, so you can try anything, and then it's easy to adjudicate. That's why the rules light is important. The game is built for that. Okay, easy adjudication, and then building your own rules on top of that easy mechanism. Okay. Go ahead.
Something else I would add is that it is the importance of what your character can do and the ability scores that you have is way less important than what you as the player can imagine and come up with.
Yes.
In 5th edition, there's this really high dependent. The reason the ability score modifiers are so inflated in that game is because the game relies on them so heavily. And you have this huge suite of abilities because the game relies on them so heavily. And it's also true for the monster design. They're really, really complicated because it relies on what is, stated that they can do. Whereas in Castles and Crusades, it's more free form kind of, I want to attempt this. Let's logic out how this plays out. And it's less of the intensive die rolling and rules referencing.
So to Jeremy's point, and that's, I sort of like skip that one. It's a player facing game essentially.
Yes.
Okay. So modern iterations of the game tend to be character facing so that you're constrained, driven, or rely upon your character as it's presented on the sheet and the rules about what they can do. That's a limitation. Whereas a player facing game, which CNC is, depends more upon or relies or encourages the player, the actual person playing, to use their imagination to have their character do what they want to do.
Yeah. This is not the character. This is my sheet from yesterday. This is not the character. Your character's up here.
Right.
And I think that's an attitude difference.
It is.
That's really, really strongly pushed in the language and the feeling of Castles.
Like Rob said, you're not constrained. He tells these characters, don't feel constrained. Try things. And don't. This is not rules as written.
Especially for people who are coming over to a player-facing type game or less of a character-facing type game.
Yes.
It's important to convey that to the players and for the CK to know that they can do all this kind of crazy stuff. And they don't need to pull out the rule book constantly and stuff. You just have to have that 12-18 in your head.
So
and sorry, go ahead.
No, finish your thought, and then I'll say what I was
it takes a lot longer to level up in Castles and Crusades than it does in 5th edition,
Yeah.
which some people might not find attractive. However, I would contend that 1st through 5th level is the most fun part of any game, and you can spend way more time in that sweet spot.
Right.
Because if you don't know what you're doing and you just award experience as written in 5th edition, you can go up from 1st to 3rd level in the first session. It's happened to me. I was like, that doesn't seem right.
It's insane to me.
Yeah.
All right, Chuck. we got
All
any
right,
more
so I've
questions?
got 3 comments I want to put to this. Then I'm gonna move to a question segue in. So let me just read these off to you. If you want to interrupt me with a comment back, that's fine.
Okay, we do have to start wrapping up soon. but go
Yes,
ahead.
yes. Let's see. Randy Crockett said from over at YouTube, he said, in my opinion, it seems that most of the new 5e replacement games coming out, like Tales of the Valiant, DC-20, seem to focus on over-the-top players, more superhero-like. And I have to agree with you on that. That seems, and that's probably natural. People are trying to follow what's been working. But I think now, in my opinion, the cat's out of the box, and people know about other companies like us,
What
and
is
Free
that?
League Press, and
Yeah,
other
David's
things.
doing something.
But anyway, that's my opinion
I'm
on
trying
that.
to test Chuck's volume. I can't.
Oh, let's see. Statler 97 said CNC has been a gateway for me to try more theater of the mind play, getting away from plotting every movement on a grid, and that's very true. That's very true. I use some movement, but I don't have to. And then lastly, MSN 2012 Gaming said modifiers like the +5 and 5e are less essential in CNC and similar to OSR games. This is one hard concept for people coming from 5e and PF2 because they kind of look at that as being, honestly, I've got one group that's level 20, and I think the highest plus in that group for a weapon is 3. I mean, you have to be +5's like just unreachable, right?
No,
For
we're
weapons.
talking about for attributes.
Well, I
We're
know,
talking about for attributes.
but I'm just trying to give you an idea of it because even in 5e, you can work your way up to get those numbers. And that whole thing looks at, well, I've got to have the best. I got to have a +5 in this. Got to have a +5 in this. And that's not CNC, like you said, is definitely a little lower, for sure. And going back into that, Omega Gambit asks, are there specific miniature-like combat rules like facing, flanking, attacks of opportunity, etc. in CNC versus 3.5-5th edition? Go
I
ahead.
wouldn't know. I don't use miniatures.
All right, stop. No comments. We don't have attacks of opportunity. Okay. That did come up in yesterday's game. Chuck will disagree. He's wrong, and it's fine to disagree.
Well, it's in the rules that if you don't properly disengage from an opponent, they can attack you.
Yeah.
Okay, that's a hasty disengagement.
Mhm.
Okay, it's not an attack of opportunity. The only person who gets that attack is the person with whom the opponent was engaged. So if like an orc is engaged with like a player or a character, if that orc turns around and runs away, hasty disengagement, it
Right.
just turns around and runs away, that player gets one free swing at that.
But not the rest of everybody standing around.
No one else standing
Right.
around.
That is the difference right there.
That is the difference. It's a one-time shot for that one character. So it's not like they're running through a 5-foot space or something like
Right.
that, which is the attack of opportunity does.
Well, I will say it's probably best to do away with attacks of opportunity because players have this weird thing where like I can't run away even though I'm losing this fight. I can't run away because then they get a free hit on me. It's like, well, no, you should run away. You're going to die. I see that all the time with 3rd through 5th edition games, like constantly. I just can't.
there's a time to run away, and you should if you're losing a combat, you run away. I mean, that's all there's. Yeah,
right, but attack of opportunities disincentivize that choice.
It does. But so what we have is the hasty disengagement, a disengagement which does not allow for. That's a planned disengagement. You're slowly backing away. And then there's evasion and some other things like that you can use as well. So there are several ways to get yourself out of the combat.
I do want to just throw in real quick. We do have miniature combat rules in a book called Fields of Battle.
Yes.
Yes. Now, as for facing rules and stuff like that, we do. So but they're open. Flank attack. We have flank attack.
And a back attack.
Right.
And none of this, there's like 15 of them, and none of them you don't have to use any of them if you don't want to.
No, you don't. Those are like optional at the back, I think. Even do we even say that they're combat maneuvers?
So the combat there is a combat section in the middle of the book.
Yeah.
Yeah.
That's in the back of the book.
That talks about like the only one like flanking. You get a +2 if you attack from the flanks, and plus
Right.
4 if you attack from the back.
Yeah.
That's
But
about
nowhere
it.
in the description of the combat round, it doesn't say you have to use all these maneuvers. It just says swing, miss,
Right.
whatever.
No, you do one thing.
Yeah, whatever you want to do. All right, Chuck.
So, yep, let's get over. We got to get this done here. We got one last question, Steve. If you can answer Doug about that, I'm going to move over and get our giveaways.
Doug asks, can you talk about walk run speeds and how you use them? Can you start from a standstill and begin running? The way I run it, I think this is roughly how it's written. When you start moving the first round, if you want to start running, I think we've got jog and then run, charge. The first round, you move your movement rate of 20 or 30 or whatever that is. And in the second round, I allow the charge or the run to kick in. So I give it 2 rounds, and then you're moving pretty fast. Because 30 feet is a long distance. You can get started running, inside 30 feet. But that first round, if you say I'm going to charge, that first round, whether you're on a horse or whether you're running, first round is your normal movement. Second round is your charge / jog / run, whatever it is.
All right.
Yeah, and remember, your charge is times 4 your movement, I think.
Yeah, time 2, 3, yeah, something. You
No,
speed it up, you lose.
It's a lot.
Well, if you're charging, are you jogging or are you running?
Yeah, well, I let them choose. The first round, regular movement. Second round, you can be at a full charge or you can be at a jog.
Interesting. That's
It
good.
doesn't take long.
Yeah, no, it doesn't take. No, I mean, look
You're
at a
talking 10
sprinter.
seconds.
Yeah, it doesn't take long.
I mean, a sprinter's done with the 100-yard dash in under 10 seconds.
Yeah, so it doesn't take. And horses, trained horses, can get moving fast, especially if you're in a Corvette. Wait, no.
Wait, what? All right.
All right, we got to do giveaways. Is that it?
That's it. We're going to close out right now. Close them out. And we're going to do them right now. We've got 5, and that's it. First one up. This is for a $10 PDF purchase from the store. A link will come up for the Discord. Just join the Discord and hit up Obsidian Risk. He is the information will be in the chat too, but I always go over the spiel. He'll give you a code for this. All right. Next one up is Angel Monk. You just joined over here. Congrats, dude. There's your $10 off any PDF purchase, so you can get you something on the nose around if you want. Second up for a PDF, $10 off is M5 tie-in. M5, you know the drill. Our next giveaway will be for, we're going to give away 2 $15 coupon codes off the store. First winner for that is Touch of Evil. $15 off. Very nice. Congrats. Awesome.
Nice.
Next up will be the Kraken. So the Kraken's got his. You just go and go to the Discord again. Hit up Sky. He'll get you a code. Those 2 right there got $15 off whatever purchase they want. This last winner will be for a $25 code, and it will be for Grandpa John 3. I saw you enter the raffle early. Excellent. Congrats, everybody. That is awesome.
Congratulations.
Absolutely. Good job, everybody.
Random question. How long is a round?
10 seconds.
10 seconds. Yeah.
Okay.
10 seconds.
Which is a really long time.
It's a very long time. You can do a whole lot in 10 seconds.
You can do a whole lot in 10 seconds. All right, I'm going to set us up for a raid and get us out of here. And then we will we'll see you guys back. Let's see. We're doing a stream tomorrow afternoon, actually. Grace is running it. We're going to do an arena-style battle. So come by and see us. I think it's going to be around 4 o'clock Central. And you can watch us fight to the death or whatever she's pulling out for her. She's told us much about it.
I won't be there, sadly, but yeah.
No, unfortunately, he's got to go for an important meeting, so he won't be here.
Yes.
Let's Mandarin meeting. But anyway, congrats to all the winners. Oh, sorry.
Mike and I will be there tomorrow.
That is fantastic. Well, it works pretty solid this stream, man. I'm all excited about that. That's awesome. Come watch Bug defeat everybody else in the Battle Royale.
Cleaver Pit.
Yes. All right. I'm going to set us up
Thank
for
you,
raid.
everybody. Take it easy.
Yep. Let me get this up here real quick.
Yes, Randy Crockett, Dr. Pepper meeting.
You're on
Got a pilgrimage to the grave of the great doctor.
The great doctor. All right. Again, thank you, everybody, for coming out and hanging out with us. Really appreciate all the support. One last time, I'll drop this link in here for the Kickstarter for anyone who might be curious. You can wander over. And we have that video on there of the actual play from the other day. So
we are this close to 100,000.
Oh my God! Yeah, we are close. Wow.
Tell your mom. Get a copy for your dog.
Yeah.
Whatever it takes.
Whatever it takes. Anyways, thanks, guys. Troza! All right, we're gonna go right into Phantom Ninja. He was just under talking a while ago. He's a a favorite in the community, just go over and give him a follow if you would, and give him support and good love, and give him some hell too while you're at it. Thanks, everybody.